Waiting. Hey, everybody. We just have to give the system a minute or two to load and make sure everything's working okay. I also need to make sure that you're not hearing me in stereo because that would not be cool. There we go. I think we're good. So tell me what you're working on. It's Monday. Hi, Julie. Oh. Now I'm hearing duplicates myself. Sorry about that, you guys. Hi, Stacy, Sarah. I was going to get on a couple minutes early and that didn't happen, but you know, Melissa and I have things to talk about. Hi, Joan. My yarn is wrapping itself around chairs. Well, Sherry, Cindy. Hi, Malcolm. So because I didn't jump on a little early, I will go ahead and get started. Then we can chat along the way. Let's see. I've finished your jean wrap. Awesome. Tammy, back to your scrappy hue. Julie's working on the nacho. Holly, yes, I am tan. I think I'll probably look even more tan once I get back to Michigan and everybody else looks so pale. Debbie's weaving in ends. That's something I need to do too. So I'll try and make this one a little bit more formal. I mean, I'm still not back in Michigan, but it's still a Monday motivation. So welcome. Today is April 4th. I'm Kristen. I'm the owner of the Little Yarn Shop in downtown Saginaw, Michigan. Shop hours are and marketplace hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I do want to mention that we have like a social knitting happening here and there. Deb hosts social knitting night on Thursday evenings from 6:30 until whenever they decide to be done. During the day, we're kind of back to, as long as I don't have a class going on, people are welcome to come and sit for an hour or two. I am keeping the number of chairs limited at the table, but yeah, it feels like it's, well, prior to me coming to Florida, it felt a little bit like we were getting back to normal. I have no idea what the last 2 weeks have been like for Karen and Deb. Joyce didn't knit today, finished round 2 of Sock Madness. Linda working on Walkabout Shawl. All kinds of stuff. I'm just scrolling back through to make sure I didn't miss anything. Barb, I am having a great time. The weather here is, it's 79 degrees, but I'm inside because it's like 110% humidity. It's been raining on and off all day, but I am not complaining in any way. So that's who I am and where we are normally. I will be back Thursday. We fly back on Wednesday. The shop will be open, of course, on Wednesday, barring any unforeseen circumstances that might come up. And I will be back in the shop on Thursday. I will probably get there early for a few days in a row because I have had some boxes arrive and have more on their way to me. So when I get back, I should have the April pop-up kits with the coordinating skeins for their recommended shawl for April. Something I'm going to talk about tonight, hopefully within the next couple of days, will be to me. So I'm going to be busy when I get back. So I'm trying to get as much knitting in as I can now, because once I get back, I'm going to have to actually work. So what am I working on? Right now, I am knitting on my summer trellis top. So it's got this really cool, oh, now that I have more done, you can really see that the texture in that. It's just little diamonds. I just finished the pattern part of the yoke, so now it's just knitting and stockinette until I get to splitting for the arms, which I'm really close. So there's pattern, Summer Trellis by Jill Zielinski, who also happens to be the one working on the design for our LYS Day kits. So I have a lot to talk about with LYS Day. Hi, Lori. I'm working this in Bamboo Pop sock, which I haven't used before for a garment. And I know I talked about it last week, but it's a non-wool sock yarn. It does have this little like nubbly, oh, come on, I want to go. It just wants to white it out. I don't know if you guys can see or not. It's got this little nubbly texture to it. But it's bamboo and cotton blend. I want to say it's 50-50, but it's not. 55% bamboo, 37% cotton, 8% PBT, which I believe is like nylon. But these 100-gram balls have 492 yards. If you did this summer trellis top in just one color, you would only need, the smallest size needs 2 balls, the largest size needs 5. And at $10.99 a ball, that's not a bad deal at all. And that's for the long sleeve version. That goes up to a 68-inch bust. So pretty cool. I am enjoying it. Now that I'm just knitting in the round, I can pay a little less attention, but it is my my filler project for when I can't work on my other one. So the other one doesn't have a name yet. But yeah, that's true. If I start fading my tan, I can always just put the yarn next to me and I look really, really tan. I don't know why my camera's kind of a little bit messy today. So we don't have a name yet for the pattern, but the collaboration with Stephanie from the dyer from Blooms and You and Jill, who is Knitterella. So Stephanie's dyeing yarn, Jill's designing the wrap. Jill and Julie and I are knitting samples as we go. So every day or every couple days, Jill will send an email to me with a little section further on it. Melissa posted a link to Jill's Instagram so you can see her colors. She's knitting it in kit colorway B. I'm knitting it in A. So here's what I have so far. Hers has a little bit more in the picture, obviously, because she's writing it. She knows what she's going to knit before I do. But it starts here at this little edge and it grows, and now my stitch count's not going to change. So the width of this, I have my little end caps on, so it's a little bit smushed. But the width of the wrap is about, well, is that. So I don't know what that is. Not a yard. But it's going to be a good size wrap. The kits are still up for pre-sale or pre-order, I guess, on our website with one caveat. So our condo here is right on the golf course, and I can hear they have these alerts that go off when there's lightning in the area, and I can hear them. So like I said, it's been stormy on and off all day today. So 3 different colorways for the kits. The caveat is the original plan was we were doing all of these as pre-orders, and they would be ready on LYS Day, which is April 30th, for people to pick up or for me to ship out. And on that day, Jill would release the pattern. So we'd have these kits and they're going to have some special locally made goodies in them if you order by today. So 2 different dates to keep in mind. One is if you order your kit by today, by the end of the day today, when you get your kit, you'll get the exclusive bonus extras. So it'll be some notions things, a little treat. All of it is going to be local. So it's a local dyer, local designer, locally made extras in there. Any orders that come in after today will still get the yarn and the pattern as part of the kit, but it won't be ready to pick up for a little while. And as it is, any orders that were placed after March 20th are in the second batch of dyeing, I guess we could say. I can't guarantee that they will be ready on LYS Day. This has been a lot more popular than I thought it was going to, which is a very good problem to have. Stephanie, the dyer, has said she's on board to continue dyeing kits, but as I mentioned before, there are 3 different kits. There are no duplicate colors between the kits, and each kit has 6 different colors. I've been playing with mine for so long, I forgot what the kits look like. So each kit has 6 different colors. That means when she's dyeing these kits like this, where she's having to dye kit A, kit B, and kit C, she's having to dye 18 different colors in order to put this together. So it's a lot to put on her, but I'm glad she's taking it on. So this is what I've got so far. We just finished up this little bit of, oh, sorry, Linda, you'll have to catch back up later. She calls this a little clover stitch. Everything so far has been really, there's nothing complicated. Yarn overs, knit 2 togethers, SSKs, nothing an adventurous beginner couldn't handle. And the bonus of having those long rectangles is you don't end up with a gazillion stitches to bind off at the end. Your stitch count is staying where it is, which I don't know what that is. I think it's maybe 135, but I could be way off. So why do I have my little end caps on? Because even though I brought my entire set of needles, I decided to bring my warmth set from Knitter's Pride from their new Mindful collection. Guys, I really don't know why this is so washed out. It's driving me crazy. It's probably because of the light in here. But this is the beauty of interchangeables. So this kit has everything from 2.5s to 15s in it. And of course, the 2 projects that I'm working on both need size 4 needles. So instead of having to have 2 totally separate sets of needles on a fixed cord, I can unscrew the tips, put these little toppers on, put the tips on this project, and then swap them back out. Both projects are on their new swivel cords. So I don't know that I've really gone through the entire collection with the Mindful collection. We'll have to do that one day and just have everything out, because they have a bunch of different kits and then everything individually too, most of which I carry all the time in the shop. But their new cords are like a metal cable in there. They are marked every inch. So you see that? You guys can see that. They're marked every inch, so you can use them to measure, and they swivel at the join. I have occasionally had a little hiccup where something catches on there, but really, I mean, I'm using this bamboo yarn, I'm using yak yarn, both are really soft and I haven't had any problems with it. But one of the beauties of that swivel in the cable is that your needle tips are less likely to come unscrewed. The kits do, of course, come with the little see if I have them. Is it in here? It is. So if you buy the cords individually, they come with this little pouch. And in there are the little toppers, the caps that you can screw on when you take your needles off. And then their cute little key pin. I guess now it looks more like a pin than a key, but it used to just be the little metal thing with a round loop on the end. This is a little bit more something to hang on to. That helps you tighten your tips onto the cord. So those are the two things that I'm working on. This is Sarah. She's peer pressuring you. Oh, Julie, yes, good. 135 stitches. This is one of those projects where I need to make myself stop and check my stitch count every once in a while just to make sure I'm still on. Luckily, the section I just finished had good counts in terms of like what you're doing all the way across until the last 4 stitches. And I had 4 stitches left when I got to that point. So I figured I'm pretty much on track. That's usually my first clue when I've screwed something up, as I get to the end and I don't have the number of stitches that they say you're supposed to, if the pattern is written correctly. Sometimes it's not. We had that discussion with Malabrigo. That's what I'm working on. I have not finished anything. Before I get into talking about the little sneak peek that I showed earlier tonight and talking about all of the different offerings that are going to happen on Local Yarn Store Day, I wanted to mention Purple Sage, the bead shop. So most times when I'm doing a live, I have something like this little necklace on. So Sarah at Purple Sage Beads has a really, really cool trunk show going on right now. I shared one of her posts a week or so ago that kind of had a photo of the table laid out, but she gets these strands of stones, crystals, all kinds of different stuff. And I think prior to having known her and having seen all the things she can do, I would have looked at it and thought, well, yeah, they're really cool, but what are you going to do with them? She takes, for me, because I don't like a lot of heavy things, she puts this on, I don't know if it's thread. I guess it would be thread, but she knots it almost like you would a pearl necklace. So each one of these stones has a knot in between it to kind of space them out a little bit, and it just gives it a little more structure. And then every single one of ours, my necklaces that she's made, have magnets on the back. Makes my life so much easier and saves my nails. So I've already gone through her trunk show and pulled, I don't know, maybe 3-4 different colored strands of the stones like these, so she can make me more things. But I wanted to mention that the trunk show is going on. She always has a phenomenal amount of things in her shop, but this is kind of something different. I believe it's going on for the next week or so. Hi, Aunt Jackie. I don't know beyond that. So if you're local, you should get in there and check it out. Or you might be able to do like some of you have done with my yarn before, when I post pictures and screenshot and circle things and message her and say, this is what I want. I'm sure she could work with something with you on that. Work her magic. So what did I tease earlier? I wish I had a physical thing to show you guys, but of course I'm in Florida. I couldn't have goodies shipped down here because then I'd have to haul them back home. And I don't trust that anything would get where it's supposed to be in time, whether it's with me or not. But Saginaw has Skacel is a company that they're the distributor for Shoppe yarns like the Zauberball, Haiku. A lot of people know Haiku yarns. They are the US distributor for Addy needles. A really cool, small, family owned company. They have come up with this concept called Wander Knit. So they are putting together kits that will be released. Their goal is to do one a quarter. This first one is happening now. So everything shipped to me to the shop. I got notification that it shipped today. So I'm hoping by the end of the week it will be there. They're limiting what they're offering and who can offer it, I guess is the way to put it. So Melissa posted a link. They are available for sale on the website, but I only have 10 and only 20 shops nationwide could participate in this program. So what is it? They wanted to come up with a way to allow people to travel without having to travel, to still learn about different places, not just around the US, but internationally. So this first one, their kit includes this really cute fabric. I can't think of the word that I want, like muslin style tote bag that has a graphic on the front of the whole country laid out. And the kind of concept is with each of these kits, you'll get a little, some sort of pin or button to put on there that will represent whatever area they're talking about. This first one is Holland. So you guys saw the little snippet I shared earlier with the little tulip. This kit includes patterns for a hat, a cowl, and a pillow that are all exclusive to this kit, at least for the next 3 months. Canvas, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. So within the kit, each time, what will kind of be the same is that you'll get patterns and yarns that coordinate. But what will differ is what the goodies are based on the region they pick. So Holland, they have like a little brochure write up about Holland. You get a little Dutch, that'd be Dutch, I think that would be Dutch treat, and a couple little extra goodies. And the way I've put these kits together, you get the yarn enough to make all 3 projects. I'm sorry, you guys, maybe I need to take a break for a minute. Slow down. So they had a designer come up with, I probably can't show it to you very well on my phone. I thought I had a screenshot of it, but I don't. They had a designer come up with some, here we go, Melissa posted everything. A tote with Holland related souvenirs, 3 patterns, yarn to make all 3 projects. So the way I put the kits together, the yarn for the hat and the cowl coordinate, and then the yarn for the pillow is slightly different. They all are beautiful colors, and all the colors that are in the kit are what's pictured on the pattern. I know that tends to be the easiest thing for people to visualize is when they actually have the photo of the items made. So you get like 11 skeins of yarn come in this kit. I'm hoping once I get to the shop and get everything, I'll actually be able to fit all the yarn in the tote. But the yarn is Haiku Simplicity, which is a superwash merino acrylic nylon blend. It's a DK weight yarn. They're 50-gram skeins. So you get a bunch of different colors, but there is enough to do all 3. We will have more of the yarn in different colors in the shop. So if you, let's see, can I allow you to share your screen? Yeah, I don't know how I do that. Share screen. One participant can share at a time. It says you should be able to. I don't know if you're talking to me, Melissa, you're muted. I don't want to share my screen. You guys don't want to see my screen. It would be a picture of me and a picture of me. I don't know. Oh, I bet because it's my spotlight's on, huh? If I remove my spotlight, it should let you. Okay, try now, see if that works. You guys are my guinea pigs. We're learning every time we do this, we learn something different. Maybe.
Sorry, it's saying only host can share.
Ah, okay. Well, we tried.
Okay.
You guys should still be able to click the link. Let me know if you've had problems. I've been hearing from people lately that if you go back to try and watch the videos after the fact, you saw her. Isn't she so cute? We'll have to figure that out in the future. We'll play around a little bit. Yeah, this drip waffle cookies, Julie says. She popped in and then popped back out again. She's just like my little fairy behind the scenes, you guys. You just see her for a second and then she's gone. She's like Tinkerbell. What was I saying about it? Oh, let me know if you've tried to go back and rewatch the video and had problems getting to the links. Karen mentioned it and my mom mentioned it. So the Karens have told me that they have had problems and the links aren't active when they go back to watch the video again. I'm getting to the point where this might be more fluid if I go live to YouTube versus to Facebook. I just, you guys might be my guinea pigs on that one too, when I start to transition to see how that works. I think I can still do it where I post a link on Facebook so you can follow it, but people do it. There are so many things out there on YouTube. I know it can be done. So we might be working on that. Hi, Christina. But so with these kits, they are, all three patterns are stranded color work. For the most part, it doesn't look like it's more than 3 or 4 stitches at a time that you're carrying floats. The pillow would be a great place to start for knitting stranded color work without it having to be fit to anything. But so Skacel just came out with this and I jumped on it right away because I thought it was such a cool concept. They only allowed up to 20 shops nationwide to participate. We were all only allowed to order 10 of these kits. So that's all I have is 10 of them. The link on the website is active. You can buy them that way, or you can call or come into the shop and purchase them. If you don't like buying online, you don't do PayPal, you're just not comfortable with that, put in the comments that you want one and I will make sure to get in touch with you when I get back and I will make sure that one gets set aside for you. I am leaving it active on the website, but I am not promoting it on Instagram, Facebook, anything like that beyond my live video for at least until Thursday, until I get into the shop. So you guys all, you know, the link is there. You have first opportunity to to kind of snatch one up because I do appreciate all of you. Bev, could you stop at the shop to purchase? Yep. We'll make sure we set one aside. Melissa, my little background fairy, is always good at keeping track of what you guys want. So that's kind of the cool new kit. I will be on the list to find out what the next one's going to be. Like I said, they've said that they're going to do this quarterly and have plans enough to do through 2024, which I think is pretty neat. And it's kind of a fun little thing to gather. So each time you'll have a little button to put on your bag of each location that you've done, all kinds of cool projects. So the other thing coming up is LYS Day. Sherry, they are $130. So that includes everything that Melissa listed. So the tote, the goodies, the 3 patterns that are exclusive to the kits for 3 months, and 11 skeins of yarn that is enough to do all 3 projects. The hat takes 2 skeins, the cowl takes 4 skeins, the pillow takes 5 skeins. All of that in the colors that are pictured in the pattern photos, which I know you don't have a great view of right now. But I think on the website I put, let me see if I can do this without messing too much stuff up here. There are, if you go to the link on the website, there are individual photos of the projects that you can see versus the one picture they have, everything is just kind of overlapped. So that's that. So LYS Day. LYS Day is April 30th. It is a Saturday. It is always the last Saturday in April. I'm going to have so many different things in the shop, you guys. It's going to be so fun. I really hope that you take the time to come in and see me that day. If you're not local, I'm not quite sure how I can do that. This might just be one of those things that are for in-shop only. There are quite a few different designers, pattern designers that are offering codes for their patterns free with purchase of the yarn for their pattern. So in the past, Casapinka has done one. Julie just mentioned that she was working on her non-show. That was one of the past Casapinka patterns. The Breathe in Hope was another one. So this one coming up is a 2 skein. Oh, good. Yeah, there we go on the website. This one is a 2 skein fingering weight project, but Dream in Color is putting kits together that have, one of the kits has an exclusive to this pattern, to LYS Day color. The other kits have colors that have not been released before, so that's kind of cool. In addition to that, they're working with 2 other designers to do different projects. One's a hat project that is in worsted weight, and then one is a rectangular wrap, kind of a similar shape to what I was showing you that I'm working on with Jill's pattern, but it combines fingering weight and mohair, and it's all hand-dyed yarn, and I think it's like 7 different colors or something like that. So I will have kits for all of that in the shop. Earth is doing some promotions with different patterns, both knit and crochet, which I appreciate because sometimes I think I don't get as many, I don't have as many crochet promotion patterns, I guess is the way to put it. There's another designer that reached out to me. Thank you to Debbie Sawicki, suggested she reach out to me and is doing coupon codes for free downloads of her pattern as well with purchase of yarn, and that takes 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn in just 1 color. There's more. I know there's more. I'm going to blame it on vacation brain right now that I can't think of all the things, but those are just what I jotted down quickly before I went on. Hours for LYS Day might be extended. I'm not quite sure yet, so I will post about that. I might open a little early. probably will stay open a little bit late. But really the day is designed for customers to celebrate us as local yarn stores, to show your love, which many of you do on a regular basis anyways, but why not pick a day? And it's like Valentine's Day, but for local yarn stores. So why not? I appreciate all of you every day. I think that might be all that I have on my notes today. I thought this might be a little bit of a short one because I'm just kind of working on my projects as I go. Oh, you guys, all the hearts. I love it. So I think you'll be hearing a lot more from me about a lot of different things coming up. My plan is when I get back to the shop to to take a picture and post a picture of all the boxes that are waiting for me. So maybe a little sneak peek here and there. I don't think I can wait until next Monday to open and give you guys some sneak peeks on things, but we'll see how it goes. There might be some that I haven't even gotten to until then. All right. Next week, I will be back in Michigan, back at the yarn store. And hopefully things are a little bit back to normal. My goal is to bring as much sunshine and warm weather back as I can. I did see next week, it looks like weather might be in the 60s, which is not snow. So I appreciate that. I hope everybody, yes, the purple needles are in too. For any of you that pre-ordered the Knitter's Pride purple square needles, the J'adore, those came in. Karen has opened that box and set it aside. So if you pre-ordered yours and you've not picked them up yet, know that they are there in the shop for you. I do still have a pre-order for that available, but the next round of them probably aren't going to ship until at least mid-April, which now doesn't seem like it's that far away. So, all right. I hope everybody has a good week and a good evening. And I hope you continue to be crafty and creative, start some things, finish some things, just play with yarn. What more do you need in life than that? Well, and friends. All right, everybody, have a good night. Bye.